Folks, it is no secret Ryan Jensen sustained a knee injury in day number 2 of training camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sure all of you have seen the video that I posted earlier on in the day showing the graphic and upsetting injury that occurred to Ryan Jensen that had him get carted off the field in day number 2 of training camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the first thing I want to say is that I wish nothing but a speedy and healthy recovery for the big man, Ryan Jensen. My thoughts and prayers go out to him, whatever the severity of his injury may be. And right now, as it stands, we don't know what the severity of this injury is. Ian Rappaport, I believe, as well as Adam Schefter, have been talking about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are thinking right now that it is not a good situation, and that is understandable why they would have those thoughts, given, again, Ryan Jensen was carted off the field after that play that he did get hurt, but we still don't know for sure right now. We still have to await final word. When there are any updates of that injury, you know I will be making a video here to discuss said updates. But in this video today, I wanted to talk about why this injury could be really not good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers moving forward, and what some of their potential options may be if Ryan Jensen does miss any amount of time, be it in practice or even possibly games as well. So first things first, this is not a good thing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to have going on right now. We talked all throughout last season about all the different types of injuries that occurred to so many different types of players, both on the offensive and defensive sides of the football, and now we have begun that process yet again. Hopefully this isn't something that is going to be a continuation of the Buccaneers' injury problems from last year. I'm really hoping it isn't, but Ryan Jensen getting hurt again is not a good thing to see. He was arguably the best offensive lineman on this Buccaneers roster. You could put him right up there with Tristan Wirfs, right up there with Shaq Mason in terms of the top 3 guys on that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line. He is the anchor of the offense in the middle, and now he's sustained an injury. This is not good. It's not good for Tom Brady. It's not good for the chemistry of the offensive line. It's not good for the running game. It's not good for pass blocking. Ryan Jensen is one of the most valuable players on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. So if he does miss any amount of time, you know he is going to be missed by everybody on that offensive side of the football. So I can't state enough that, yeah, this is a big deal, Ryan Jensen getting injured. It's not necessarily a situation where you can just say, oh, just plug in the next guy in, next man up mentality. No, this is a big thing to occur, and we definitely need to monitor this situation moving forward. But if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do have to move forward, they do have to look at some other options. What of those options might be available? Well, looking at the Buccaneers roster first, before I talk about some external options, you look at guys like Robert Hainsey and John Mulshon, especially Robert Hainsey, who finds himself in a very weird kind of situation. We were going into this training camp assuming Robert Hainsey would be battling against Aaron Stinney and against Luke Gedeke, the Buccaneers' recent second-round draft pick, for starting left guard opportunities. But now Hainsey, the third-round draft pick in last year's NFL draft with Kyle Trask, now finds himself potentially as the starting center, at least for as long as Ryan Jensen misses time, if he does indeed end up missing time. So really big leap here for Robert Hainsey. I'm probably going to be making a whole separate video talking about whether Hainsey can or cannot step up as the potential starting center for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team if he needs to. But you imagine, at least in terms of internal options, Hainsey would be the first guy that the Buccaneers turn to. He practiced all of last year as a center and played in preseason games in that role as well. He would probably be the first internal option, with John Mulshon likely being the backup center. Then, to kind of take it a step further in terms of retirement options, folks, I don't believe Ali Marpet is coming back. We've seen Jenna Lane talk about this on social media from ESPN. We've seen some other local Bucs media people talk about it as well. I believe Ali Marpet is going to stay retired and is more likelier than not not going to be an option for the Bucs moving forward. But aside from that, what's going on with free agency options? What is going on with the trade market? Well, there are a couple of actually intriguing options in the free agent market, and I'm going to be making an entire separate video about JC Tretter because I know a lot of Bucs fans have been commenting in recent videos talking about how JC Tretter should be an option. I've even seen guys like Gerald McCoy on Twitter talk about, hey, the Bucs are probably already calling up JC Tretter and things along those lines. Again, I'll have a whole separate video talking about that guy. I think he could very well be an option if they need him to be an option, as well as some other centers that are out there, like I believe Connor McGovern is still out there, somebody along those lines. A couple of guys who could just be solid veterans that could possibly be your starting center if you needed them to be, but also can still compete with Robert Hainsey and definitely push him and improve his overall play just by having a healthy veteran there as kind of a little bit of an insurance policy. So there are still a couple of options out there. Obviously, none of them are necessarily Ryan Jensen, but there is still some quality, decent-ish options out there to provide depth at that center position if, again, it is needed. In terms of the trade market, I don't expect that to be a very viable option for the Bucs. I don't see them trading for a center anytime soon. Training camp just got started. You figure any guy they would get that is an external option would more likely than not just be from free agency, somebody who they can get up to speed relatively quickly in terms of learning the offense and getting some reps into their system moving forward. But folks, aside from that, that's kind of it for external options. Right now, we're in a really, really unique part of this offseason where training camp just begun. A lot of the guys who are still free agents out there are still looking for a home. They should sign, some of them should sign right now, but other guys may not sign until, regular season, middle of the season, things along those lines. But the Bucs now have to find themselves dipping potentially into the free agent pool yet again as possibly one of their main options to help replace some of that veteran presence that Ryan Jensen may be leaving behind if he does have to miss some time. Also, they've got some intriguing internal options with Robert Hainsey and John Molchon in there as well. And, JC Tretter is going to be a whole separate video I'm going to be making because that one is, I would say, probably the best option for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I will wait to dive into that in a separate video. But folks, that's kind of it right now. Look for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to look internally first to Robert Hainsey and John Molchon if Ryan Jensen does have to miss some time. Also, possibly looking at JC Tretter and some of the other free agent options that are out there as well. Those are just some of my thoughts as to what the Buccaneers' options are moving forward if Ryan Jensen does have to miss some time. What do you guys think about this situation? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.